And now you're the outgoing chair, so you can.
I can start. So I'm going to call the meeting to order. And so I'll call the roll. Kevin.
Here.
I'm here. Anna's not here. Emily is not here. Stacy is not here. Shane.
I'm here.
Joanna.
Here.
Teresa.
That's me.
That's Teresa. Kate.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. And then our liaison to the school board was here. So we have a quorum.
So you have quorum. So this is the point where we have selection of the new officers. There's a chair and a vice chair. Just to briefly go over it, the responsibilities of the chair is to go over the agenda with me. I send a proposed agenda before the meeting, and that person conducts the meeting. So it's not a high-level day-to-day thing. The chair of the board is also a de facto member of each committee too. That doesn't mean that the chair has to go to all of them, but they should be clued in on things and be part of it. The vice chair simply fills in for the chair during the chair's absence. So you can nominate somebody from the floor. If we have a chair and a vice chair, you could vote on it as a slate. If there is more than one candidate or a person who wants it, then we would have to vote on them separately, and a simple majority of the people here would carry that.
And then indicate if she wants to join.
She said she would. She said she would serve again as vice chair.
Okay. I nominate Noah for chair. Much to his chagrin.
Any other nominations for chair? Okay. Vice chair?
You interested?
I'm listening.
That's not fair.
Nominations for vice chair?
If Anna wants to do it, I'm happy to nominate Anna, yeah.
So go ahead, your nominations for the slate then would be for a chair of Noah and vice chair of Anna. I'll call a vote, simple majority. You can vote, yeah, you just can't vote on the minutes because you weren't.
That's not the minutes.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
carry on.
Welcome.
You would get
it. So let's go around and do introductions, and so why don't you say your name, and if you've been on Civic Engagement Board, what are some of the things that you've done on Civic Engagement Board, and if this is your first meeting, why don't you say why did you apply for this board? So, Joanna, do you want to start?
Sure. My name's Johanna Platt. I am also relatively new. I just joined in January was my first meeting. And born and raised in Mount Lebanon graduate, moved back to Mount Lebanon after some time, not too far in Shadyside. But yeah, I was just feeling called to give back to my community in a different way, and saw the role. So I'm still relatively new. I've helped with a couple events so far, including like the Residence Academy, but excited to get engaged a little more on committees and such. So nice to meet you guys.
I'm Teresa Thomas. I guess I applied because for years I've been in public relations and issues management for major universities in the city, and I thought there would be something I could bring to the community. I've lived here. I'm not a lifer. I grew up in Westmoreland County, but I've lived here more than, I would say, 23 years. My son's a graduate of Mount Lebanon High School, and that's me.
Shane Bua, also pretty new. Grew up in a community just south of here. Went to school at Duquesne after University of South Carolina, and then I was in Los Angeles for 20 odd years, retired, came back, rejoined the Mount Lebanon Fire Department after 23 years, set the all-time record for someone coming back to do it again. They even still had some of my paperwork, which is amazing. And just, again, want to serve the community. I am the law enforcement coordinator for Allegheny County currently, although that will probably be coming to an end here this fall. myself, not being fired. And then,
Thank you for the clarification.
yeah, right, yeah, there's no case pending. I'm on the law enforcement committee here, and then I also had a big interest in the resident academy, even when I moved back, because I've only been back a couple of years. And I did nearly all of them from the Civic Engagement Board this year, just because I found it pretty interesting, and it's a pretty interesting group of people that were taking it, so that's about it so far. And Coffee with a Cop is now mine, so if you're interested, let me know.
I'm Laura Lilly. My day job is I'm the Public Information Officer for Mount Lebanon, so I'm one of 2 liaisons to this board. So it's kind of a natural fit because a lot of what the work that you do is put out by the platforms that we have. So we aim to spread the word, and making this a welcoming community is part of our reason for being. So that's one thing. I have lived in Mount Lebanon for 32 years. I've been an employee of the municipality for 19 years. Before that, I was a reporter at the Post-Gazette. And I was in radio before that. So I have been in my current role in the Public Information Office for 8 years. So. Jackie's our special guest today. So.
Hi, I'm your special guest.
We'll hear more from her.
Yeah.
These are a mystery.
Yes.
We skipping over Jackie for now?
Yeah.
I'm Julie Aquino, I'm the HR manager. I have lived in Mount Lebanon for 9 years. I grew up in Bethel Park, and I also lived in Los Angeles for about 8 years after college.
So I'm Noah Evans, and I've been on this board since it was created, and I was on it sort of what were we called before? Community engagement board.
Community relations board.
Community relations board.
Okay.
Before, and so I've been active in the MLK Day of Service and the DEI work, and dipping my toes in lots of other things. My job, I serve as the rector, the pastor of St. Paul's Episcopal Church on Washington Road, and I've lived in Mount Lebanon for 9 years, and I have one kid who's a sophomore in the high school, the other one's a freshman in college. So.
Hi, I'm Kevin Brand, and I guess now I'm like the veteran besides Noah. Sometimes changed, I was just a new guy a year or two ago. So I've been on, this is my second year, I guess. Yeah, I've lived here 5 years or so. My wife grew up here, and then when we retired, we decided to move back here. She had 1.5 votes, I had 1 vote, but I like it here, so I'm glad we did move back here. I do like Mount Lebanon, and that's why I wanted to do more with the community and volunteer for this board. Since I've been on, I've done, well, I was part of I helped with MLK Day. I went to several Residents Academy also. I'm on the DEI committee. Now I'm doing the mediations for people when they have an issue, they can come to us and we do free mediation for them. So I've had 3 so far. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty much it.
I'm Kate Pfeiffer. Been in Mount Lebanon for about 15 years now. And so I started in this work just professionally. I went to Northeastern University, which focused on many months ago at the starting of doing, research around inclusion in the workforce and how imperative that was. And so had started in the nonprofit sector taking that work, but then had transitioned it into the corporate sector. So I've done this at PwC, Meta, and now I'm at Ford Motor Company. Remotely, I lead anything that touches like early career, so universities we connect, or anything in that space. And yeah, I was just sharing, I am a child-free by choice with my husband and chose to live in Mount Lebanon because why shouldn't I still have affordable housing in a nice community? And one of the appeals of Mount Lebanon is definitely the inclusive nature of the community. So really excited to participate in this. I've been more associated with the food scarcity, so a lot with the Dormont Food Free Pantry where I got to know Jen a bit, and the North Side food distribution as well.
Awesome.
Hi, everybody. Eva Gelman. I am the school board liaison, so I'm a school board member. My background is in higher education, college admissions, planning, and whatnot. I moved to Mount Lebanon from Squirrel Hill in early 2020. We have 3 kids. I also have a sophomore. I have a senior and a college sophomore as well. So.
Hi, my name's Karen Gottschall. I am the Public Information Office Administrator. I take the notes and do the minutes, and I live in Dormont.
Well, thank you all for the introductions, and we'll get to know each other more over work on this board. Citizens' comments, there are none.
Meeting minutes.
Sorry. Yeah. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as submitted? Kevin moves, is there a second? Showing the seconds. Any discussion, all in favor? Anyone opposed? Passes, great, thank you. Okay, citizens' comments there. So
We have no.
we have no one, okay. We were told maybe we might, but no, okay. So Jackie is the social worker that works with the police department.
Correct.
And,
I do.
has visited us a couple times. And when her position was being created, this board was part of suggesting that, part of the advocacy for that, and also, excited by your work. So it's great to hear an update as you've now launched a lot of programs.
Yeah. So, hi, I'm sure I'm probably familiar to you because I do help out with fire department. Trying to get a little bit more in with your peer support team because I was on UPMC's peer support team, so pretty familiar with their work. Anyway, backing up, before I came here, just for the newer people, I went to the University of Pittsburgh. I have 3 degrees from there in social work, psychology, and a master's in social work. So I had a double major. And then after that, I kind of bounced around in a lot of different fields before I kind of landed on my feet. So I've worked in community corrections. I was a kind of like a contractor for the VA. I worked in transitional housing for homeless veterans. I did that for a little while. I was just a regular old mental health case manager for a little while, working with mostly people who were facing homelessness and having severe and persistent mental illnesses across Allegheny County. Most of my caseload was centered around here in the South Hills, though. After that, I was a therapist for a little while at a hospital step-down program, so very high acuity. Then after that, I made my way over to Resolve, so the Allegheny County Crisis Agency, which is an affiliate of the 90-Day National Suicide Lifeline, and I was there for 7.5 years. I cross-trained across all 3 components of it. I'm pretty sure that if I went back now, I probably could still lead a shift in the walk-in center. So I did phones, I did mobile crisis, and I did the walk-in center. After that, well, halfway in between. While I was at Resolve, the Shayhawk CERT team, the SWAT team, reached out because they wanted to incorporate a mental health advocate onto the team because there's kind of a growing trend to include that, especially for negotiations. So the negotiator team leader reached out to Resolve, said, hey, do you know anybody who would be good? That ended up being me. So now I am a certified negotiator. I'm on the SWAT team. I am the first mental health advocate that the CERT team has had, ever. I'm the first one. Then after that, through the CERT team, Sergeant Kegerice is the one that told me Mount Lebanon was hiring, and I said, cool, I'm very over working at my current job because I'm very done with shift work. So here I am. It was an exciting opportunity to build something and do what I thought was what social work was supposed to be, like being somebody who is part of your community, despite the fact that I live in West Mifflin and am from Penn Hills. But to be a part of your community, to get to know everybody and be a familiar face as opposed to just somebody that you see in a crisis and on a bad day. I don't know, I guess any other questions or anything I should talk about? I've done a lot of random things.
Well, I mean, I found interesting that you've now done some outreach with the library, and so you're figuring out ways to connect with the community in some new ways, and I think just hearing about some of those would be interesting.
So every Wednesday from 2 to 4 p.m. I am at the library. Actually, that's where I was earlier today, and I just kind of occupy one of the very coveted study rooms, and people come in and just kind of ask social work questions. Like, I am on unemployment. How do I get my health care? Where do I go to find jobs? How can I get bus tickets? how does applying for the state insurance work? Like, how does Compass work? Like, all of those kinds of things. I've sat with a lot of people and helped fill out forms and just walk them through things. A couple of times I've done some like walk-in therapy. One time I accidentally did a whole existential therapy session without realizing I was doing it. We talked a lot about the meaning of life. And that was about 45 minutes. And I said, okay, anyway, thank you. And then one time I helped somebody with their taxes. So, you know, kind of if you just need somebody to like be a body double or help look things up for you. Had a gentleman today who just said, I'm at the end of my rope, trying to find a job, help me. And I said, well, why don't I try looking some things up? And just my Google search turned up things that he hadn't thought to look for just because he's been so fried. I'm also next week going to be starting outreach hours at Representative Jed Mazzacco's office because her staff do get a lot of questions about like insurance, state available programs, those kinds of things. And the staff said, these are things that we would love to have a social worker for. I said, how convenient, you have one right across the street. Let me come on by. I believe the hours are gonna be from 9 to 11 every Wednesday. I have to double check, but that's what we're gonna be doing. And I'll just be posted up there with access forms and resources and all kinds of other stuff to talk to people about. What else are we doing? The library, we're gonna do the Lego build with the cops. That was very popular last year. The slots for the kid time filled up so quickly, and it's just, the kids come free build Legos with officers and they get to hang out with the kids and just do something fun, and then the kids get to also hang out and do something fun with adults who just want to hang out and build Legos with them. Trying to think, what else am I doing? I'm working on some projects with MRTSA, the ambulance company, working with fire, trying to bring some more trainings to the police department, especially around dementia, older adulthood, and intellectual and developmental disabilities. So working on a lot of different things.
So if I could just comment, just to back you up on a couple of things, just so everyone here gets like sort of my perspective. Last year she did, we had a suicide prevention type meeting at the high school for fire. And it was open to all communities, and we had like 30, 40 people there. And Mount Lebanon, coming from I go to the Allegheny County Chiefs meetings, and Mount Lebanon is one of 2 communities that has someone like her. And retiring as a cop and having to try and fill her shoes with no training for 20 years in Los Angeles, I can tell you, this is something that this community needs to like fully understand, because I mean, I'm not just trying to it's one of the most important things for keeping the law enforcement doing what law enforcement's trained for versus having negative interactions for putting them in a position to fail. And so I've talked to a bunch of the officers, they love having her. So I think it's a great thing for a community that's sort of kind of quiet, but yet not only we shouldn't be the only ones that know about it. So, and I do think moving forward, like the day with like coffee with a cop, those kinds of things, that maybe we reach out and also get some of your involvement, just so
She's
that
there.
people start.
I go.
And her interns.
Yeah, I go to coffee with the cop.
Yeah, just so everyone starts understanding, like, when we call for help here for mental health, we're not just getting law enforcement, we're actually, a lot of times, and if she's not there, she's at least assisting them and guiding them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important, so.
Yeah, so just kind of to tag on to that, kind of what happens, just for people who don't know, is most of the time, most of my referrals do come from like the patrol officers. They go out onto a call, and then like through the course of like talking to somebody or their observations, they go, this person could use some help, or the person that they're responding to directly asks and says, I need help. Like, my loved one has a severe illness and I don't know how to manage it anymore. Or I have a loved one with like dementia and I don't know how to take care of them anymore. Or I'm at the end of my rope and I don't know what to do. Then what happens is they write up a little report. They, for lack of a better word, they tag me in it, and then it shows up in my inbox. And then usually within like a couple of business days, I will reach out to them and make contact and form some kind of a plan. People are free to deny my service, that's completely fine. I can't force my services onto you. However, if you get referred, I'm gonna call you every time. So that's kind of the other thing, is if you don't wanna talk to me anymore, maybe accept my services so that we can finish it once and for all. The job, as Chief puts it, is to make sure that I prevent crises before they become crises, or prevent recurrent crises. So, also Scott Township just hired one. Yeah, Baldwin Borough, us, and then Scott just hired one. She starts the 11th. She starts next week.
So we still only have 2.
We have 2.5. She trained under the Baldwin social worker, so she knows what's up.
She's been a great help to the municipality too. The SNAP benefits were put on hold. We had a little food pantry set up here, and Rachel in my office, who put all that together, reached out to Jackie and got material to hand out to people when they came in. So not only did they get food, but they got a flyer that had, because we knew we weren't going to be able to do that forever. So.
Yeah.
And do you have interns now?
Right now, I have one starting June 15th.
Okay.
She'll be here for the summer, and then for the fall, we haven't gotten there yet. But our department does enjoy a good relationship with the Slippery Rock University school, and they do have a dedicated police social work program, so we might be getting more from them. Not sure yet, it's still kind of early, but definitely. And also, just me being me, I do reach out to the Pitt School social work every new academic quarter, because that's where I went, and I don't necessarily give money back because I need it, but I give back by hosting students, and I have consistently for 10 years. Every job I've ever had, I've reached out to have students. So I'm on a first name basis with my liaison. I just email him, go, John, I have a new job, and then he sends people to me. So that's coming up. The new one, her name is Madeline, and she is a Mount Lebanon resident. Or well, technically for the summer she is. She's from here, and goes to Washington and Lee. So yeah, I guess questions? Anything I can clear up? Or any things I should be doing you think of? Because I know I sit in front of my desk and I work on projects and I email people, so sometimes I might miss something, or just it doesn't cross my mind the same way that it does for other folks. So happy for suggestions or ideas.
You might look at Carlo for insurance.
My last student was from Chatham, so Carlo's on the list.
Yeah. Good program.
They are, yeah, I do like them. They have I like their social work program. It's a specific trauma-focused one. I do like that curriculum. So yeah.
I think that you having regular hours at the library definitely sort of raises the profile that you're here and you're available and resource to the community, and I think that
I do introduce myself as the lady at the library. Because when I say, oh, I'm the lady that's at the library every week, people go, oh, you. Yeah, it's fine.
What is that again, you said?
Wednesdays 2 to 4. Barring a crisis in the community, because it's kind of an understanding with me in the library that if I'm there and it's 2:30 and an officer calls me and says, hey, we have a crisis and we need you, then I'm gonna go handle that. It's only happened a couple of times, but where sometimes I have court and stuff comes up, but 90% of the time I'm there. And then starting next week, if they can't catch me, then they can come see me in the morning at Jen Zacco's office. They're very easy to find. And if you ask the firefighters, my office is the best office. Because it has couches, and right now it smells like banana bread.
I don't know about that.
I don't have banana bread, it's just a candle. And it's not fire, it's a warmer. I got checked on that when I first put it up. Chief checked it. So yeah, I guess anything you can clear up, any questions, comments, thoughts?
Really helpful to know that your role exists, and appreciate you explaining.
Yeah, it'll be 2 years in September, which is still, all things considered, a very, very new program. So very, very baby. So, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, so.
Yes.
You're welcome to stay, but I assume you have other things to do.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Unless you need me for something. if you ever need to find me, my stuff is all public, and you guys are welcome to use my municipal email address or however it is you get in touch with me, so. All right, well, thank you all. Have a good meeting.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we have some community events coming up that I just want you to be aware of, that we've had various roles in the past. Memorial Day Parade is coming up on the 25th, and that group has tried to sort of recreate their board over the last few years after basically, I think the board all retired. So that's a great way to be engaged with our community. And then Juneteenth is on Sunday, June 14th at Mount Lebanon Main Park, and I just want to encourage you to attend and be present to the African American community and be in support and an ally on that one. And then Lebo Pride is Saturday, June 13th at Mount Lebanon Main Park. In the past, we've asked the municipality if we can have a table. Anna has coordinated it last year. She's not able to do that this year.
So I had a conversation, Joanne and I had a conversation,
Okay.
and she's gonna be out of town again
Okay.
then, but we said we would do it, and anybody else who wants to do it is welcome to join us. The more volunteers, the better, but obviously you've never done it before. But we would set up, well, we have to get the library to say it's okay to share their table, I guess.
Yeah, so we have to ask Keith McGill for permission to do this, and then if I don't know if we have to do that first, or if we in parallel can ask the library if we can share their table.
That would be allowed.
Okay.
Yeah. So you would
You
just have to vote, a majority of you would have to vote that this is something that you want to do. I type it up and it goes to Keith.
Yeah, I can talk, I forget her name now, but it'll come to me, my wife's on the library board, so she knows the person's name. That I talked to last time about it, and make sure that they'll let us do it.
Okay.
Because I don't know if they have to pay for that table, but they will probably charge us. Do we pay?
I don't think they charge the municipality. I do think other people get charged to be there, but I don't think we pay.
So I'll make sure we can share the table.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I said I can pick up from Anna, she said just like Skittles or something we usually have on the table, and then there's normally some
She
type
has
of,
tattoos and some other.
yeah, like a poster board with some type of question
Yeah,
we can put
I've got
up.
my poster board from last year, I have it, so
Okay.
I know the question, we can
Okay.
we can figure that out, modify the
Perfect.
question. Yeah, but we can modify it, but I have the question from last year. But one of the reasons I asked her about that is, actually, the question was good, people did it, but we really didn't, the answers were interesting to read, but we didn't have any follow-up actions. None of them
Well,
demanded
that's the
follow-up
request from the
actions.
manager. So if you do want to survey or ask questions, he would like to know what the question is and then what you intend to do with it afterwards. So for example, one year when it was done, the results were given to the consultant who's working on the comprehensive plan to be put into the feedback section of that. So what do you want to do with it?
Yeah, well, we can quickly meet and come up with the question, just modify it from last year and do that post-it note. But the other thing I was thinking about was, I just was reiterating this from Jackie, is that maybe what we should do is we can do the question and this, or just this, we should have like a board that says, these are all the things the Civic Engagement Board does. We have Martin Luther King Day, it was this date, this is what it is. Not that we sponsor this, but this is something that the community offers. We have free mediation, we have Residence Academy, this is how you sign up. The Community Service Award, and this year our winner was, I forgot his name, but John Black. So, I mean, maybe we should do that, so people know what we do.
That's what I was gonna ask
And
you.
the services that are available,
Yeah.
There is a
Like,
flyer
what
that we
the
have
action
produced
is.
for you to hand out, a stack of them.
Right, which was great.
It's not as specific as you're saying,
I
so
was
if you
thinking
wanted
like-
to, yeah.
A big board that says, here's like 6 things, and like, a URL or a date or a one-sentence blurb, so people know how to engage with us and what the Community Engagement Board, a Civic Engagement Board does for them. So, I don't know, and then we can do the question or not do the question, but I think we should do that. Last year, the question was like something about how could Mount Lebanon be a better community for
More welcoming community.
more community for you. And people were like, come to this event, do this, do that, but there was no actionable thing. I summarized the actions, so there's nothing like, oh, we should start doing this because people said this. There was nothing like that I got out of it, so.
Is there information about Jackie too? Because that's one good way to disseminate, like people probably don't know she exists.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I was thinking, we
Yeah.
put on the board, hey, you could, this is something Mount Lebanon offers, not necessarily us, but Mount Lebanon offers that you may not know about, which could be great also, for people in that community, just based on historically how underserved sometimes.
So then just do me one favor, once that board is done, if you could just take a picture of it and send it to me so I could just make sure that everything is correct
Okay.
on there.
All right, yeah, so maybe we can have a quick sub-meeting with whoever was interested in the next couple of days and hash this out, and then we can send it to you.
So we need to vote to request the city manager for us to be able to go to Lebo Pride, and Kevin and Joanna were deputizing you to be our lead and submit the detailed information to Laura.
Okay.
Is that enough, Laura?
Yeah.
Okay. As a motion.
I'm happy to help. I will be going out
Oh,
to.
we're voting?
We got
Flagging,
votes.
but happy to help in
Anyone can jump in and help. That's,
Yeah.
So that's the motion, so I need a second. Somebody needs a second. Shane seconds. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so then email us all and let us know, because we can sign up for shifts and.
Yeah, because we're in need, like I can only do half a day because I'm volunteering there too, so.
Sounds good.
And if you need, Skittles purchased or anything, happy to donate Skittles.
Okay, anybody else off the top of their head want to think about this? Just anything else?
I could probably be at the table at some point, I think. My church is table too.
Yeah,
so
we might need
I
one
might
more
be
person
too.
because I only can do half a day. I don't know how much.
I can be there all day, so.
Oh, I actually can't be there.
Oh. You can do half a day.
I can do the morning, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
One person's okay, two is better.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, maybe Emily will do it.
Okay, great, thank you very
Okay, so
much.
we got that.
We don't have our commissioner here, so we don't liaison, right? Laura, do you have a report?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank those of you who attended the Boards and Authorities dinner, and thank Karen for all the work that she put into doing the entire thing. That was 90% Karen and probably 10% Rachel in our office as well. So I'm grateful to that work that was done. And for those of you who weren't there, Anna and Stacy did a fantastic job with the Community Service Award. Talking about the rationale for the people who received it, for why they received it. So it was very, very well done. And it was a good opportunity to network. We broke everybody up. So that people tend to sit with people they know. We deliberately broke all the boards up and made people sit with people they didn't necessarily work with. Because one of the other things we like the boards to do is try to mix with each other and lean on each other for the things the other boards do. So anyway, I think that's all I have.
I thought it was really well done event, so thank you. It just, it moved along, but it still gave us enough time to talk to people, and it was well organized. I thought it was really good, so.
I have a quick question. Was there a little bit of a struggle for attendance or no?
It was better than last year. Last year we did it during school spring break and didn't realize how many people actually leave town during break. It's anytime you do anything, there's the musical was that night, we just never know. So
I was just thinking that, how many nominations did we end up with this year? Like 8, 10 total
Oh, for the
people
community
nominated
service
to be
award?
the community service award?
there were 10 people.
Just a thought that maybe in the future we consider, depending on how many there are, just giving an invite as a nominee, you were nominated, this person won. That way you actually are getting like a thank you, because there are several of them that were like amazing. That you almost don't, basically, you barely find out you were even nominated. It's just a way the community recognizes, oh, she was nominated, she's doing wonderful things.
And you can, just so you know, that entire group can advance next year. So once somebody is nominated, it's up to the committee. They can go back and pluck somebody from prior nominations. So that's an option to the group as well.
So each year we need to establish our committees, and if you look into the subcommittee reports, those are the committees we've had established in the past. We can establish a committee at some point later in the year, but we have to vote every year to establish our committees. So let's just go over what they do and who's a part of them. Shane, do you just want to talk about police engagement?
Yeah, I've been to one police
There you go.
engagement meeting. Well, Coffee with a Cop is one of their specific things, and I believe it's quarterly, every 3 months. We just had one right at the timing of the draft. So there'll be another one, a month and a half or
Which,
2
by the
months.
way, it was packed.
Yeah.
We did not realize at the time it was take your kid to work day. So it was full.
Which is great. I felt like there were less people this one than there were at the one we had at Beverly Road, and I thought maybe it was the location.
Yeah, no, it was packed.
Maybe it's just.
I got there after staff meeting, so I was there at like, I don't know, 9:30.
Okay, I think I left at like
It was packed.
9:45. I would see. Okay.
So my goal with that is just to sort of get the chief to share sort of the event with multiple officers. People don't realize it's very positive for the officers 99% of the time. It could be the 1%. So it's not just a one-way street. That's a two-way street there, and when the officers feel respected by their community, it just makes them that much more proactive to help the community. So my goal would be like sort of like a chief level, a detective or sort of middle tier person, and like a couple of, like, I call them street cops from LA, but officers that work patrol. So moving forward, I'd just like to make sure the board or the people that show up are sort of from all different ranks of the department, so that they
I'm trying to think.
enjoy.
We definitely had, all three of the leaders were there. We definitely had people from ISU. We had Jackie there. We had people on patrol coming and going. We probably had 8 or 9 police officers there.
Yeah, he does it as like a shift, so if you're on shift, he tries to get you to swing.
I mean, I think people were engaging. I mean, one of the thoughts, I just know, like for me personally, it's like, it's hard to break the ice sometimes. You walk up to them, hi, how long have you been a policeman? Why did you become, I don't know if there's something like, this may be, I'm just throwing this out, this might be a stupid idea, but any idea, like, put up something that says some facts about, each one says a fact about them, and then you see that, and you gotta go around and figure out which one has that fact or something. Something that you could, gives you a reason to engage different officers and breaks the ice a little bit,
Yeah, like-
some kind of icebreaker.
I lead the community, or I lead the police agency in complaints, and then you get to figure out like which guy, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like, I was born in Honolulu or something.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, actually, yeah.
Something, just things that will make it easier for people
Yeah.
to break the ice and have that initial engagement.
I
Some
think the
kind of
cops would
icebreaker.
enjoy too, like coming up with like,
So,
I think it's a great idea.
some kind of icebreaker, I think.
And many of them have like specialized training, like, what's their thing that they've been trained in, so. And the other thing that police engagement has done in the past is if there's a special group that it seems that it'd be helpful to have the chief meet with, is helping to suggest that. So there's things like that are maybe not.
If there's
just
a
like-
major community concern ongoing, if there's rumor control, things like that, that we set up like an ad hoc, like, hey, we need to get a little community meeting together on this, or one specific person that really wants to raise awareness about something or has a complaint about something that wants to be heard, like us kind of facilitating that is also very important.
Yeah, I mean, I have I don't know the best way to deal with this, and I think Laura and I were talking about this, but you get there's some, specific legal complaints groups and stuff on Facebook, and they start complaining about things. There was this big thing about parking tickets going around, and there was this person that was arrested outside of the school not that long ago in Gloucester, and I don't know if we should respond or not respond. I actually talked to the chief about it at the coffee with the cops, and I think his best general position was, Facebook is for losers. Summarizing, he didn't say that, but he didn't think it was really worth getting a discussion with people on Facebook.
I think you have
But I
to,
always feel like if there's 20 people complaining about something and we don't respond, then those 20 people assume they're right. So
But
the
you have to
question is when to respond and when not to
understand,
respond.
with police issues, they can't give you the background. So sometimes when you respond, it creates more questions than when you start.
I understand that, I
Yeah.
understand. So that's why I said, I don't know the exact right answer here,
Right.
but I feel like it's something we should think about more. I mean, you could say, we fully investigated this, we fully investigated this, and we can't disclose the results, but we want you to know that we take this seriously. So, I mean, maybe that doesn't satisfy those people anyway, so it's not worth it. I don't know the answer. But, sometimes these threads will go on, there's 50 comments. And so what do you do? I guess your opinion is, your face is.
It's just not the place for it, because that's media that's run by a community group, and it ends up just creating defensiveness. And I put it this way, municipal staff never goes into those groups, especially legal complaints, and corrects anything. Occasionally a commissioner will drop in occasionally, because we can't. The gentleman who complained about the parking, there's a whole backstory there that we can't go into. So the thing at Foster, he wasn't arrested. So see how people will say things and then they get.
Well, actually, nobody said he was arrested, actually, so I'm never exaggerated. They just said, 75,000 cops came, which obviously they didn't. But a lot of police came and blah, blah, blah.
We have no oversight of the police department anyway, but we can make suggestions to the.
And certainly,
We should be commenting.
and certainly
on
trends
any-
and education requests, like if there's a topic that you think that you're seeing more trends on, or you feel that more education is warranted, that's a perfect thing for the board to suggest.
So you can join at any time, but if anyone wants to join, Shane, it'd be great to have more than one person on a committee.
Emily might have said-
Emily is,
I think she said she
she
was
was with Terry,
interested in
yeah,
doing it for
previously,
local
so,
council.
I'm just gonna write her down then.
Yeah, and just a reminder, you can have
See what happens
you can have
when you-
4 people on a committee with one being Noah. Technically, you can have more on the committee, but you can't meet with more than 4 people, because that would constitute a quorum, and that would have to be done in public. So these committee meetings, and if maybe one person can't go, if you were to have 5, as long as only 4 show up, you're covered, so.
And mediations is Kevin, who did training to do that.
Yep, so I do mediations, so Laura usually passes that, or so far Laura's passed everyone on to me, and then I contact the people and see if I could help. They don't have to take my help. So far I've had 3 since I've been doing it, and just for few months now. And
There were a couple more, but there were, in a couple instances, or at least one instance, somebody just wanted you to go in and be the heavy. They didn't want to have a conversation with somebody. It's really for people who've reached an impasse. So the first question I asked them is, have you tried to talk to the person? It's like, well, no, I don't want to talk to them. I'm like, well, we're not going to make Kevin, call them on your behalf. So yeah, there's a couple, but he's been doing a great job.
yeah, so I mean, mostly it's a tree. I haven't named dogs yet, but I guess I heard that dogs is going to be tree. So
So if you have an interest in community mediations, you should talk to Kevin more about it. And then DEI has been Kevin, Emily, and me. And we actually have run through all of our projects, so we should be, we should be talking about doing what else we can be doing. And then Residence Academy, Anna said that she will again be willing to chair it with Joanna. Did you say that you were going to help with the Residence Academy?
I can help with that, yeah.
Okay. This is all from Anna. So she said you and Stacy were her team.
Yeah,
So,
sounds good.
And so the Residence Academy is every winter, and so we organize it, and then we all volunteer to host those talks. And if you're like, Shane, you can basically just take the entire class.
What are you doing here? You're not actually registered for that.
It's a way, hey, we're like the plus on the registration number, so. I've tried to move around to hosting them, so, eventually I'll make it to all the classes, so.
you learn a lot.
Yeah. So, and then Community Service Award, I believe, so so Stacy, I believe, is happy to convene that again, but other people need to be a part of it. And that work tends to happen late winter. When are they due? They're doing like end of.
Yeah, the very beginning of February.
Okay,
It's a very low commitment
Yeah.
activity.
But it's cool because you get to give out an award. So.
Put the wind out of myself. I'd like to volunteer for that.
Okay.
It's tons and tons of work.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna be.
I bring it on.
I could help.
Okay.
I'd be happy to. It doesn't have to be low commitment, but that's attractive.
Yeah.
Well, they send all the nominations into a form to me and I put them in a folder for you and then tell you it's yours now. And then you pick them and somebody gets to make a really good phone call.
Hopefully we've been on number of people.
Making that phone call is like the best thing.
And then the MLK Day of Service, which happens on MLK Day, and we need a new chair, but I think Kevin, you said you would.
Yeah, if somebody else has died to do it, that's fine. Nobody else has been involved in it, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to join.
Yeah, we need lots of help for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Okay.
well, as we get
Joanna
closer.
and
Yeah, there's a lot to do on that thing.
and I'll volunteer a member of my staff for the committee again. It'll be a different one. He's going into the Army.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, too bad, because he's got so much
I
experience.
know, but I have a new person. I'll volunteer because we can invite people onto our committees who are not members of the board. So,
Yeah, just for people that haven't been involved in it, basically, we do it on Martin Luther King Day, but we get everybody to come together, we have like a half an hour chit-chat discussion, and then we send them off to nonprofits to help for the morning. So we have to find nonprofits. So it's never too early to start looking, if you know nonprofits, it's never too early to start talking to them, because it's hard, it's hard to find them that be open on Martin Luther King Day. They have to have a half-day thing for us to do without training and security and,
Any background
clearances.
checks and.
Yeah, so, it's challenging to find things, so.
And we
There's
had
some on-site, right?
yeah.
Some
Some
on-site,
on-site.
yeah, and the on-site ones are great for people who don't wanna go anywhere, and
Yeah.
then we have off-site ones, so we'll hit up all our off-site ones again, but we could use some more.
So let me know if you want me to apply for the permit at the high school again.
Yes. That worked out great, thank you.
Yeah, that was just a great location.
So for Karen's benefit, could you run down the committees and who's on them?
Okay, so we have to vote on all this. Police engagement is Shane and Emily. Mediations is Kevin.
Hold on. Shane and Emily?
Yep. Mediations is Kevin. DEI is Kevin, Emily, and Noah. Residence Academy is Anna, Roman, Johanna, and Stacy. Community Service Award is Stacy, Shane, and Teresa. MLK Day is Kevin, Noah, Johanna, Katie. Okay, any other ideas of committees? We can form them later. We don't have to do it right now, but we do need to vote on these ones. Okay, is there a motion to approve this slate of committees in membership? Kevin, Shane, seconds. Any discussion? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Great. Okay. Any other business, old or new?
I went to the zoning thing, because I
Oh,
went to
yeah,
represent
yeah.
everything, and then I conveniently forgot to bring my notes in the zoning thing, so.
Do you want to just tell, because I
Oh.
don't know if everyone got the email because they were.
Yeah, there was a zone,
transition.
there was the zone, they're redoing the zoning plan for Mount Lebanon. And so they had a meeting and they asked people from each of the Mount Lebanon committees to come so they can give their views, hear what's going on and give any input that they wanted into the thing, so I went. Basically, off the top of my head, since I forgot my notes, I said, now they have a draft plan now, so now they're in the stage of collecting final information to put into that plan. And then, at some point, they'll send that out for more comments, and then a final review sometime in third quarter, I believe it was. We'll have that completed. If I'm saying something wrong,
I think it won't be wrapped up and finalized till early 2027, but it should take some shape.
Final review, I think, and then that will 27. So, my input was, how do we foster diversity in the community? And, there's only so much you can do with zoning, but, then we talked about, a big thing they talked about was making it easier for people to do things to their existing house. And they've been they didn't say we've been tough on that, but they've been probably pretty stringent on that, and they think that, well, we gotta we want people to stay in their houses, and people are getting older, and, houses are getting older, and how do we make it easier for people to stay in their house, even have, I forgot the acronym, but if you're from, so you probably know from LA, where you put
EDU.
ADU.
Auxiliary.
Yeah.
Granny flat
I
is
have-
You in your backyard, and your bounce back kids, or your in-law, or your older parents could live there, and maybe we need to look at that and be a little more, there was a lot of conversation about that, so.
and how you handle it, because there are very few people that would say that that would be a problem, but then what if Granny is gone and then you want to rent it out?
Right.
So then how do you handle that?
But there didn't seem to be, again, I'm just interpolating what they're saying, but there didn't seem to be it didn't seem like they said, well, then we'll just make an Airbnb, we'll have all these Airbnbs. It didn't seem like the direction
Well,
they
that's
wanted
the
to
other
go
big
in.
thing
Yeah,
that they're
they wanted to
talking
go in
about
that
is,
direction, yeah.
what limits or rules or structure to put around Airbnbs.
It's an Airbnb community by any means, but that was a big thing that they talked about that would help, bring diversity and more inexpensive housing, the redo of the South Garage and what they do there. So there was a good awareness of that, I thought, how that all translates to the plan, we don't know yet, because we haven't seen the draft of the plan, but that, I thought that was a good thing. I talked a little bit also about how do we bring in more diverse businesses. I know you can't just go out and say, we only want a diverse business there, but you can do things that have maybe smaller scale restaurants, food truck rules that are easier, so people could start, more kinds of things like that. And, I think that they seem to think that that was something that the plan might consider, but we'll see. Those are some of the ideas I had that I thought would relate to our board.
Density is another big thing. Did they talk about density?
They talked some about density, about, thank you, about the Castle Shannon corridor, about trying to make that more contiguous and maybe having more business and having a combination residential business zoning there. So you could have live upstairs and have a business downstairs and try and make that more of a corridor there. They're very happy with what's happening to Beverly. And they said Beverly district is booming. They felt like the Washington Road was, doing well, and there's no big problems there. Things are getting rented. By the way, I think they said it was in that meeting. Did I hear this somewhere else? I think it was that meeting. They said, do nothing with the zoning, nothing happened to the zoning themselves, or she said this here, but nothing happened in the zoning itself, but apparently that big controversy with the vape shop opening is not gonna be opening. But it wasn't like they got zoned out, it's like something happened in the business deal of that, so there's not gonna be a second big deal. But those are kind of things they could zone for in the future. You can zone for that in the future, you can't kick old ones out. You can't say who owns a business, but you can talk about all kinds of businesses. So those are some of the restrictions. So, I thought that was some of the high points that they were talking about that they were gonna address.
So as the plan's being developed, did they say how it's gonna be presented for feedback from the community?
There is, once they get the draft in, they're gonna send it out for feedback for the community. I can send the dates back, I wrote them down, but I forgot to bring it. But there's gonna be, they have another 2 stages, I think, left to draft it, send it out, comments, have public meetings, and then final draft.
So that's something that we can do, is to be watching that and make suggestions about how to get diverse representation into the feedback sessions or however the feedback is being done, so. I don't know if you know what the plan is to get.
I don't yet, I don't.
Yeah, so.
I talked also, there's somebody there from the community, business community, what's it?
Partnership, Mount Lebanon Partnership.
Mount Lebanon Partnership. And so we had a conversation about, well, how can we even get more foot traffic on Washington? Can we get, restaurants with tables and blah, 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 but there's there's a physical space problem there that it's hard to solve. And they're very cognizant of that, but it's a hard problem to solve. So there was obligatory Dennis Theater conversation.
And is Wegmans going into the Galleria?
That part.
Wegmans going to the Gallery, yeah. Somebody, I think at the meeting, it was, again, I'm trying to remember if that in the meeting or later, but I think they said it was pretty much a done deal.
Oh, really?
Not that it couldn't fall apart, but that's what they said. I don't know if anybody else wants to comment on that.
Not, I don't have anything to release at this time.
So maybe I heard that somewhere else. Maybe they didn't say that in the meeting. So take that for what it's worth.
Is that on Facebook?
It was a conversation. But yeah, I mean, the Mount Lebanon partnership, they're great. They know what they're doing, and there's, can't automatically, you can't just make the sidewalks, 20 feet now. It's a little late for that. So.
Isn't the transportation plan going to be presented as well?
Yes, the second draft was just released to the mobility board of Mount Lebanon and then their counterpart in Dormont. They'll be taking final, so that'll happen sooner than the zoning.
Yeah, I mean, and the first thing, I think we talked about this before somewhere, but they're redoing by where you go into the T, that's like the first thing they're doing, the portal.
That's part of Activate Uptown.
Yeah, that's happening soon. It's like the first thing on the list. Long term, they want to do more of the commons, but that's way out still.
Just my curiosity, but what happened to Cafe Flore right here? They had the sign that said building repairs for a while.
She's moving to a different location. She said she's gonna announce it soon on her. I keep waiting because our whole office ate there quite frequently, so.
I was just curious.
So yeah, I don't know where she's going, but I
Okay.
hope it's somewhere close.
Okay.
And I encourage you to nerd out on the municipal website and read the minutes from other boards and authorities, and you can watch their videos too. You can even fast forward the boring parts, so. Yeah, so, because there's, like Kevin's saying, there's things that are going on in other parts of the municipality if we're aware of that we can help weigh in on, so. Any other new or old business? All right, so our next meeting date is Wednesday, June 3rd, right here, so.
Which is also graduation, commencement.
But you didn't have
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I just wanted to say that was June 3rd is commencement, so I will not be here. But as far as school board, we had our last meeting on April 13th. And the biggest pieces of information was that the administration presented a balanced 26-27 preliminary budget with no furloughs, no use of fund balance, 3.5 millage increase, which was below the 4.1 Act 1 index. So that was the big news. Lincoln Elementary celebrated their 100th anniversary. We had the musical performances. Pirates versus Cubs Community Night is on May 25th. And next meeting is May 11th, Policy Committee and Discussion Meeting. Regular board meeting and final budget adoption will be May 18th. And the high school commencement ceremony is June 4th at 7 p.m. Parkway West graduation is May 13th. That's school board.
Thank you. Okay, meeting is adjourned. Right on.